Chapter 1, Lesson 7, Multiplying Decimals. Our learning objective is you will multiply positive decimals and use an estimate to place the decimal in the product. So our central question is, how do you multiply multi-digit decimals? Let's look at Unlock the Problem. Last summer, Rachel worked 38.5 hours per week. Last summer, Rachel worked 38.5 hours per week at a grocery store. She earned $9.70 per hour. How much did she earn in a week? So over here in this little blue box, it says, how could we estimate the product? Well, if I round each factor, to the nearest 10, or round to the nearest whole number, that would give me an easy way to estimate the product. So if I just round both factors to the nearest 10 or to the nearest whole number and then multiply. So on Unlock the Problem, we're going to multiply $9.70 times 38 and 5/10. So first estimate the product. So if we round $9.70 to the nearest 10 or whole number, that is going to be $10 times 38.5. If we round to the nearest 10, that's going to bring us up to 40. So 10 times 40 is 400. So now we can use the estimate to place the decimal in a product. So now we need to actually multiply this out. We're going to multiply as we would with whole numbers, so we're just going to ignore those decimal points for now. So 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 3 is 48. And then we're going to ignore that one, put a 0 to keep our place values in line, and 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 9, 72, plus 5 is 77. And then 2 zeros to hold those place values again. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 2 is 29. Now we're going to add it up. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 0 plus 0 is 5. 8 plus 6 plus 0 is 14. Write down my 4, regroup my 1. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 1 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 7 plus 9 is 16, plus 1 is 17. 2 plus 1 is 3. So then the estimate is about $400. We already decided that. So the decimal point should be placed after the blank. So when we look at this number, we have 373,450. Where would that decimal place be placed in order to make that estimate make sense? Well, then if we put it here after the 373, that would make it close to 400. So 373, since the estimate $400 is close to 373 and 45 cents, the answer is reasonable. So Rachel earned 373 and 45 cents per week. So explain how your estimate helped you know where to place the decimal in the product. Since we rounded and found our estimate, we knew where that decimal place would be in order for that to make sense. example 1. We're talking about counting decimal places now, so this is another strategy here. So another way to place the decimal in a product is to add the numbers of decimal places in the factors. Okay, so what we're going to do for that there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do for that is when we multiply, we're going to look at how many decimal places there are. Okay, so in this problem, 84 thousandths has 3 decimal places, and 96,000 has 3 decimal places. I'm counting those right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 places to the right of the decimal. So we're going to multiply like we would with just normal whole numbers. So again, we're going to ignore those decimal places until we're done multiplying. So we multiply. 6 times 4 is 24, 48, 49, 50. 6 times 0 is 0 plus 5. We get 504. Mark that out. Keep our decimal places lined up. And then we're going to do 9 times 4 is 36. Take these out. 9 times 8 plus 6. That's going to give us. And then 9 times 0 plus the 7. So we get 7,560. So then when we add these up, we're going to get 4, 6, 0, 8. Now, we got to think about these decimal places. So we had 3 decimal places in the first number, 3 in the second number. When we add those together, that means there's 6 decimal places. So now we need to take this and move it over 6 decimal places. So it would be here right now in this number. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where we're going to put it now. Which means I need to fill in those zeros. So again, we took it out and then we're just placing it back in. Let's look at example 2. Example 2 says evaluate 35 hundredths times 48 hundredths plus 1 and 24 hundredths using the order of operations. So we write the expression. Then we're going to perform the operation in parentheses. So we're going to do this first. So when we take 48 hundredths, 1 and 24 hundredths, add them together. 4, 5, 6, 7. We should get 1 and 72 hundredths. And now we're going to take that times 35 hundredths. 35 hundredths has 2 decimal places. 1 and 72 hundredths has 2 decimal places. Even though there's 3 digits, there's only 2 to the right of that decimal point. That's what we're worried about. Multiply this out. 10, 6, 7, 0 to hold my place. I'm going to go ahead and switch colors to make this easier a little bit. 7 times 5 is 35. 21, 22, 23, 24. And then we're going to switch colors again. Mark this one out. We're going to bring 2 decimal places down to keep our place values. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 3 is 3. Now we're going to add everything up. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 5 plus 0 is 12. 4 plus 5 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. And 2 plus 3 plus the 1 from my 10 over here to regroup is going to give me 6. I'm not done because I had 2 decimal places in the top number, 2 decimal places in the bottom number, which equals 4 total decimal places. So I need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4. So my number, the value of the expression, is 0.6020. Okay. Just to review what our objective was, is you will multiply positive decimals and use an estimate to place the decimals in the product. Remember, we talked about 2 different ways that we could. We could estimate, multiply, and then put the decimal in wherever it makes sense, or you can multiply those numbers, count the decimal places, and put the decimal back in after we're done finding the product of the expression.